The quantum arrays aboard the UES Hyperion hummed with an ethereal resonance as Captain Sarah Chen stood at her command station, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic display before her. The distress signal that had brought them to this remote sector of space still pulsed with desperate regularity, its alien encryption now decoded after 3 days of intensive analysis. "Final system check complete, Captain," reported Commander David Santos, his fingers dancing across the neural interface panel. "All systems nominal, though I'm still reading those strange energy fluctuations from the signal source." Sarah nodded, her expression carefully neutral. Humanity had spent the last century preparing for first contact, building up their defenses while maintaining an illusion of isolation from the greater galactic community. The distress signal represented their first real opportunity for peaceful contact, or so they hoped. "Status of the Lazarus protocols?" she asked quietly, referring to the classified defense systems that remained humanity's best-kept secret. "Standing by but inactive," Lieutenant Emma Foster responded from her tactical station. "Ghost Fleet is maintaining position in quantum shadow, ready to materialize on your command." The bridge crew worked with practiced efficiency, their movements betraying none of the tension that filled the air. Humanity's apparent isolation had been a carefully crafted deception. While the rest of the galaxy believed Earth had withdrawn into primitive isolation, they had instead advanced beyond anything their potential rivals could imagine. "Signal source is now within visual range," announced Santos, putting it on main display. The holographic projection shifted, revealing a massive vessel of clearly alien design. Its crystalline structure seemed to pulse with internal light, its architecture unlike anything in Earth's database. Surrounding it were the scattered remains of what appeared to be a space battle, debris fields stretching for thousands of kilometers. "Life signs?" Sarah asked. "Reading approximately 3,000 signatures," replied Dr. Yuki Tanaka from the science station. "But there's something odd about the energy patterns." There, a sudden surge of energy from the alien vessel interrupted her analysis. Multiple points across its hull began to glow with increasing intensity. "Weapons," Foster shouted, her hands already moving to activate defensive systems. "They're charging weapons." Sarah's mind raced through combat scenarios she had trained for countless times. Tactical analysis. "Energy readings suggest devastating capability, Captain," Foster reported crisply. "Their weapon signature matches nothing in our database, but yield estimates are apocalyptic." Sarah allowed herself a small smile. "Initiate Lazarus Protocol Alpha. Let's show them why humanity chose to hide its true nature." The space around the Hyperion seemed to ripple as hidden quantum generators activated. In an instant, the seemingly solitary Earth vessel was joined by hundreds of others, materializing from their quantum shadow state. The Ghost Fleet, humanity's hidden armada, emerged into normal space like avenging spirits. Multiple new contacts. Came the panicked transmission from the alien vessel. "Impossible. Their ships. They're appearing from nowhere." "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the United Earth ship Hyperion." Sarah broadcast on all frequencies. "Your attempted deception has failed. We recognized your trap the moment we arrived, but chose to spring it on our terms. Stand down immediately." The alien vessel's response came in the form of energy weapons fire, massive beams of destructive force that should have annihilated the Hyperion. Instead, the attacks passed harmlessly through quantum-shifted space where the Earth ship had been microseconds before. "Target their weapon arrays," Sarah ordered calmly. "Minimal force. Let's demonstrate why challenging humanity was a poor decision." The Ghost Fleet moved with impossible precision, their quantum drives allowing them to shift through space-time in ways that defied conventional physics. Precision strikes from phantom ships disabled the alien vessel's primary weapons in seconds, while quantum field generators nullified their shields as if they were tissue paper. Within minutes, the battle, if it could even be called that, was over. The alien vessel hung powerless in space, its crew broadcasting frantic surrenders on all frequencies. "Secure all sections and prepare boarding teams," Sarah commanded. "I want to know who they are and why they thought this ambush was a good idea." She paused, looking at the disabled alien ship, and more importantly, "I want to know who they were planning to sell us to." As her crew carried out their orders, Sarah reflected on the irony of the situation. The galaxy had assumed humanity's silence meant weakness. Instead, they had used their isolation to advance beyond anything their potential enemies could have imagined. This failed ambush would serve as humanity's true first contact with the galactic community, and a clear message that the children of Earth were not to be trifled with. The real question now was how the rest of the galaxy would react when they learned the truth, that the quiet, isolated humans they had dismissed for so long were actually the most technologically advanced species in known space. Sarah had a feeling the answer to that question would shape the course of galactic history for centuries to come. Deep within Earth's quantum-shielded command center, Fleet Admiral Helena Reyes studied the holographic display of the captured alien vessel. Around her, the crystalline walls of the Lazarus chamber pulsed with ethereal light, its quantum processors analyzing data from the recent encounter. The alien ship's technology, while advanced by galactic standards, was almost primitive compared to what humanity had developed during their century of calculated isolation. "The prisoner interrogations are complete," reported General Marcus Wong, his neural interface projecting the findings directly into the chamber's shared consciousness. "They're part of a group calling themselves the Harvester Collective. Their entire civilization is built on exploiting and enslaving lesser species." Helena's expression hardened. "And they thought we'd be an easy target. How many other civilizations have they successfully trapped this way?" 27. Marcus replied grimly. "Their database contains records of each conquest. They use distress signals to lure in potential spacefaring races, test their capabilities, then either destroy or enslave them depending on their technological level." The quantum displays shifted, showing the locations of known harvester bases throughout the galaxy. Their empire was vast, built on the suffering of countless species, but they had made a fatal mistake. They had tried to harvest humanity. "Status of Project Lazarus?" Helena asked, her mind already formulating strategies. Dr. Aria Zhang, head of quantum weapons development, stepped forward. Her holographic avatar shimmered with complex mathematical equations, the language of her trade. The encounter provided valuable combat data. Our quantum shift drives performed beyond expectations, and the Phantom Fleet deployment was flawless. "But," Helena prompted, sensing there was more. "But we've only scratched the surface of our capabilities," Aria continued, excitement evident in her voice. "The Harvester's technology gave us new insights. We've already adapted their energy patterns into our quantum matrix. The Mark VI weapons are ready for full deployment." The chamber's displays change, showing Earth's true military might. Massive orbital rings that appeared to be civilian habitats transformed, revealing weapon systems that could reshape reality itself. Quantum-forged ships, capable of creating or destroying matter at will, emerged from their dimensional shadows. And throughout the galaxy, hidden human observation posts activated, their sensors focused on Harvester territory. "The Phantom Fleet performed admirably in the engagement," General Wong added, "but it was operating at less than 2% capacity. With full deployment of the Mark VI systems, we could end the Harvester threat in hours." Helena raised her hand, and the displays froze. "We're not just dealing with the Harvesters anymore. This incident will alert the entire galaxy to our existence and our capabilities. We need to be strategic." She waved her hand, and a new hologram appeared, a map of known galactic civilizations. "There are others out there, watching. Some will be potential allies, others new threats. The Harvesters must be dealt with, yes, but in a way that sends the right message to everyone else." Dr. Zhang's avatar flickered with new calculations. "The quantum resonance chambers are detecting increased activity across all monitored sectors. The galaxy is already talking about what happened. Our analysis suggests we have approximately 72 hours before the first diplomatic vessels start arriving." Helena smiled. It wasn't a pleasant expression. Then we have 72 hours to demonstrate exactly why the Harvesters' attempt to prey on humanity was their last mistake. Initiate Project Lazarus Phase 2. Throughout Earth's solar system, hidden installations hummed to life. Quantum forges began production of advanced weapon systems that defied conventional physics. The Phantom fleets, invisible to normal space, moved into attack positions near key Harvester worlds. And in the depths of space, human operatives who had been hiding among alien populations for decades activated their emergency protocols. The Harvesters believe they're the apex predators of the galaxy, Helena said, addressing the gathered leadership. They've never encountered a species that surpassed them technologically. That changes today. But we're not going to simply destroy them. We're going to dismantle their entire empire in a way that shows the galaxy exactly what happens when you mistake humanity's peaceful isolation for weakness. The quantum displays showed the first wave of Phantom ships preparing for combat deployment. Each vessel carried weapons that could rewrite the laws of physics in localized areas, turning the Harvesters' own technology against them. But more importantly, they carried the message that humanity had emerged from its isolation, not as the primitive species everyone had assumed, but as a force that would reshape the galaxy. As Project Lazarus fully activated, Helena knew that the next few days would change the course of galactic history forever. The only question was whether the rest of the galaxy was ready for what humanity had become during their long silence. The Grand Council chamber of the Galactic Assembly had never been so crowded. Representatives from over 100 spacefaring civilizations gathered in the massive crystalline dome, their voices a mixture of fear, awe, and speculation. At the center of the chamber, Ambassador Julia Santos stood calmly, her quantum-enhanced diplomatic suit subtly analyzing the emotional states of every being present. The human deception was perfect, declared Zardith, the serpentine representative of the Self-Confederation. For centuries, we watched your world, believing you had chosen isolation and technological stagnation. Meanwhile, you advanced beyond our comprehension. Julia smiled diplomatically. We prefer to think of it as prudent preparation. The recent incident with the Harvester Collective proved our caution was warranted. The mention of the Harvesters sent a wave of murmurs through the assembly. In the 3 days since humanity's emergence, the Phantom fleet had systematically dismantled 7 major Harvester strongholds. The attacks were precise, unstoppable, and showed a level of technological sophistication that had shaken the galactic community to its core. Your quantum weaponry, spoke Exthal, the crystalline elder of the luminous sphere. It violates principles of physics we believed immutable. How is this possible? Humanity took a different approach to scientific advancement, Julia explained. While others sought to understand the universe's rules, we learned to rewrite them. Our isolation gave us time to perfect these techniques without interference. The chamber's holographic displays activated, showing footage from the recent engagements. Human ships phasing through solid matter, weapons that turned enemy vessels into clouds of harmless particles, defense systems that simply redirected incoming attacks into parallel dimensions. The Harvesters have terrorized this galaxy for millennia, continued High Chancellor Venn of the Free Systems Alliance. None could stand against them. Yet in 3 days, your forces have done what our combined civilizations couldn't achieve in centuries. Julia's expression remained carefully neutral, which brings us to the purpose of this gathering. Humanity is willing to share some of our advancements, but we require assurances. The galaxy must change. The assembly erupted in excited chaos. The possibility of accessing human technology was exactly what many had hoped for and feared. Ambassador Santos raised her hand, and the quantum harmonics in her suit automatically dampened the chamber's acoustics, bringing silence. We propose the formation of a new galactic alliance, she announced, not based on military might or economic power, but on principles of mutual protection and advancement. The Harvesters proved that predatory civilizations cannot be allowed to threaten peaceful species. The chamber's quantum displays shifted, showing a new galactic map. Highlighted sectors indicated proposed trade routes, defense networks, and technological exchange centers. But more importantly, they showed the locations of humanity's hidden observation posts, revealing that Earth had been quietly watching and protecting vulnerable civilizations for decades. "Your people deceived us all," noted Ambassador Kirks of the Machine Collective, their synthetic voice carrying a hint of admiration. "How can we trust you now?" "Because we could have conquered this galaxy already if we wished to," Julia replied simply. "Instead, we reveal ourselves now to offer partnership. The harvesters forced our hand, yes, but perhaps that's for the best. It's time for humanity to take a more active role in galactic affairs." The quantum display showed Earth's solar system as it appeared centuries ago, then shifted through time to reveal the true purpose of humanity's isolation. Hidden research stations, quantum forge complexes, and dimensional observation posts, all part of a vast plan to protect the galaxy from threats like the harvesters. "We hid our advancement not out of fear or selfishness," Helena continued, "but because we saw the pattern of predatory civilizations rising to dominance through stolen technology. We needed time to develop defenses that couldn't be stolen or replicated, quantum systems that require understanding beyond mere possession." Julia stepped forward, activating new displays showing the proposed structure for permanent galactic peace. "Today, we announce the final phase of human emergence. The quantum network we've established isn't just for communication and defense. It's the foundation for a new way of existence." The holographic displays shifted again, revealing technology beyond even what humanity had shown so far. Quantum consciousness networks that could unite species in understanding while preserving their individuality. Reality engineering systems that could reshape dead worlds into garden paradises. Energy production that drew power from the quantum fabric of space itself. "We offer these advancements freely," Julia announced, "but with a condition. Every species that joins our alliance must commit to the protection and advancement of all sentient life. The era of predator and prey civilizations ends today." Throughout the connected halls across the galaxy, representatives witnessed demonstrations of humanity's final gifts. Technologies that didn't just advance civilization. They transformed the very nature of existence. The quantum network would allow species to share experiences directly, making war between members impossible as they literally could feel each other's perspectives. A millennium ago, Helena concluded, humanity looked to the stars and saw both promise and peril. "We chose isolation not to hide, but to prepare. To develop technology that could ensure permanent peace through understanding rather than force. Today, that preparation ends, and our true work begins." The quantum displays showed the future humanity envisioned, a galaxy united not through conquest or domination, but through shared consciousness and purpose. The former harvester worlds, now transformed into centers of learning and rehabilitation, stood as monuments to the power of redemption over revenge. As the ceremony concluded, the gathered representatives witnessed one final demonstration. The quantum network activated fully for the first time, linking minds across the galaxy in a moment of shared understanding. In that instant, every connected being experienced the truth. Humanity had hidden itself away not to advance beyond others, but to create technology that would make advancement itself a shared journey for all species. The age of isolation was over. The age of unity had begun. And throughout the galaxy, civilizations that had once feared humanity's power now understood that Earth's greatest achievement wasn't their quantum weapons or reality-altering technology. It was their vision of a future where such weapons would never be needed again. In the quantum-enhanced space of Earth's observation deck, Helena and Julia watched as representatives from thousands of worlds signed the final accords. The galaxy was transforming not through force or fear, but through the very thing humanity had spent centuries perfecting, the technology of peace. From quantum shadows emerged thousands of human warships, each armed with weapons that had never been seen in the galaxy before. They moved through the disintegrating defense grid like ghosts, their quantum drives allowing them to exist in multiple states of reality simultaneously. The Harvester fleet, finally facing the full might of humanity's military power, launched a desperate counterattack. Their ships, massive city-sized constructs of stolen technology, fired everything they had. Initiating final phase, James announced. Quantum resonance cascade in 3, 2, 1. The seeds bloomed. Around Nexus Prime, space itself transformed. The quantum cascade rewrote local physics, creating a bubble of altered reality where the Harvester's technology simply ceased to function. Their mighty ships, stripped of their stolen power, hung helpless in space. To the leadership of the Harvester Collective, Diana broadcast on all frequencies. Your empire was built on the suffering of others. You believe your stolen technology made you invincible, but humanity spent centuries preparing for threats like you. Surrender now, or witness the full extent of our advancement. On the tactical displays, Allied observers watched in awe as human ships systematically disabled the Harvester fleet without destroying a single vessel. Quantum weapons transformed their engines into inert matter. Reality-shifting fields neutralized their weapons. Dimensional anchors prevented any escape. Message from Harvester Command, Maya reported. They're surrendering unconditionally. Diana allowed herself a small smile. Operation Starfall had achieved its objective with minimal loss of life. The Harvester threat was neutralized not through destruction, but through the application of technology so advanced it bordered on the miraculous. Signal the Allied fleet, she ordered. Phase 3 begins now. We'll need their help to liberate and rehabilitate every world the Harvesters conquered. This victory belongs to all of us. As the combined fleet moved to secure Nexus Prime, Diana knew that the galaxy would never be the same. Humanity had emerged from isolation not as conquerors, but as protectors, wielding power beyond imagination with restraint and purpose. The age of the Harvesters was over. The age of human guidance had begun. 1 year after Operation Starfall, the Grand Observation Deck of Earth's primary quantum ring station hosted representatives from across the galaxy. Through its crystalline walls, visitors could see the transformed solar system, a testament to humanity's hidden progress during their centuries of isolation. Admiral Helena Reyes stood with Ambassador Julia Santos, watching as alien dignitaries marveled at Earth's orbital megastructures. Below them, the quantum forges worked tirelessly, creating technology that would help rebuild worlds devastated by the Harvesters. The rehabilitation program exceeds all expectations, Julia reported, her diplomatic interface streaming data from across former Harvester space. 27 species have been freed from captivity. 15 dead worlds have been restored to habitability using our quantum terraforming systems. Helena nodded, remembering the battles that had led to this moment. And the Harvesters themselves. Contained but not destroyed, Julia replied. Their leadership is undergoing rehabilitation under quantum consciousness modification. Their technology has been dismantled, and their population is learning to exist without exploiting others. Some are even showing genuine remorse. The quantum displays shifted, showing the galaxy's transformation over the past year. Where the Harvester Empire had once dominated through fear and technology theft, a new network of cooperation and mutual protection had emerged. Human quantum gates connected distant systems, allowing instant travel and trade. Advanced defense systems, shared freely with peaceful species, ensured no civilization would ever again face extinction from hostile forces. Director Chen is ready to begin the ceremony, announced Captain Sarah Chen, approaching with a group of alien diplomats. The former commander of the UES Hyperion had been promoted after her role in humanity's first engagement with the Harvesters. The observation deck's quantum field activated, creating a vast holographic space that connected simultaneously with gathering halls on thousands of worlds. This was the moment humanity would finally reveal the full scope of their plans for galactic peace. Distinguished representatives of the galaxy, Helena began, her words translated instantly across countless species and languages. A year ago, humanity emerged from our self-imposed isolation. Many questioned our methods, our secrecy, our power. Today, we answer those questions fully. The quantum displays updated again, showing the latest battle footage. A harvester capital ship, attempting to escape into hyperspace, found its quantum signature duplicated and redirected by human vessels. The massive ship emerged from its jump inside a containment field, its crew unharmed but thoroughly defeated. "We don't seek to rule," Julia continued. "We seek to protect, to advance, to ensure that no species ever again faces the threat of extinction from predatory civilizations. The question is, who will join us?" One by one, the representatives began to signal their agreement. They had all seen the footage, analyzed the data, witnessed humanity's power. But more importantly, they had seen how that power was used, not for conquest, but for liberation. As the alliances were formalized, quantum communication channels activated across the galaxy. Human diplomatic vessels emerged from dimensional shadows near every major world, ready to begin the process of technological exchange and cultural integration. The age of humanity's isolation was over. In the depths of space, the Phantom Fleet continued its methodical dismantling of the Harvester Empire, each precision strike demonstrating why Earth's emergence would usher in a new era of galactic peace, whether through cooperation or through the unstoppable force of human technological superiority. The galaxy was changing, and every civilization present knew they were witnessing the birth of a new order. The humans had hidden their true nature for centuries, advancing in secret. Now they would reshape the galaxy not through conquest, but through the careful application of overwhelming technological advantage and the promise of a better future for all species willing to embrace peace. The quantum war room aboard the UES Eternia pulsed with holographic displays as Fleet Commander Diana Patel observed the final preparations for Operation Starfall. The combined fleet of human and allied forces stretched across three-dimensional planes of space, their formations optimized by quantum predictive algorithms. The Harvesters have consolidated their remaining forces around their homeworld, reported Strategic Director James Chen, his neural interface streaming real-time battle projections. They've activated some kind of temporal defense grid. Energy readings are off any known scale. Diana studied the tactical display with practiced ease. The Harvester homeworld, Nexus Prime, bristled with defenses they'd stolen from conquered civilizations over millennia. A barrier of twisted spacetime surrounded the planet, making conventional assault impossible. "Status of the Allied forces," she asked, watching as ships from 20 different species moved into position alongside the human fleet. "All squadrons report ready," answered Captain Maya Rodriguez from the tactical station, "though most of their weapons will be useless against the temporal barrier. They're mainly here to witness what happens when you challenge humanity." Diana nodded. The Allied ships were part of the plan, but not for their military capability. This battle would show the galaxy exactly why humanity had spent centuries preparing in secret. "Begin Phase 1 of Operation Starfall," she commanded. "Deploy the quantum seed ships." Throughout the fleet, specialized vessels activated their reality warping drives. These ships, barely visible even to advanced sensors, carried weapons that didn't just break the laws of physics. They rewrote them entirely. The Harvester defense grid detected the approach and responded with devastating force. Temporal weapons designed to aid ships into dust, gravity beams that could crush planets, and energy weapons that could pierce any known shield. All of them useless against humanity's quantum-shifted vessels. "Seed ships in position," James reported. "Quantum matrices are synchronized, ready to initiate the cascade." Diana opened a channel to all Allied vessels. "To our galactic allies, what you are about to witness is why humanity chose isolation. We needed time to perfect these technologies without interference. Watch carefully." The seed ships activated their primary weapons. Instead of conventional energy beams or projectiles, they fired streams of pure quantum potential into carefully calculated points around Nexus Prime. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then reality itself began to unravel around the Harvester homeworld. The temporal defense grid, their ultimate protection, tried to compensate, but the quantum seeds had already taken root, creating overlapping fields of altered physics. In these zones, the Harvester's stolen technology didn't just fail, it couldn't exist. Phase 2, Diana ordered calmly. Deploy the Phantom fleets.